All right, welcome back, everybody. 7:15, and it is time for that discussion that we've been previewing for a while now. This is our focus on media and media transformation in South Africa. The panel, Moegsien, he is the editor-in-chief of the New Age and ANN7. Ferial Haffajee, she is the editor of the City Press newspaper. Hlaudi Motsoeneng, he of course is the COO of the SABC. Also, Stephen Grootes, senior political correspondent of Radio 702. And Steve Motale, remember we had him here on the program, and he's the editor of the Citizen newspaper, the gentleman who wrote that letter apologizing to our president. So this certain to be a very interesting panel discussion with lots more guests expected to contribute to this. We would like you to contribute, please. We're going to read your questions. Peter will take them. We'll read them from studio and pass them on to Peter if need be. And that's at Morning Live SABC. Enjoy it. And Peter, a very good morning to you. It's over to you.
A very good morning to you, Leanne, and good morning to all our viewers across the country and, in fact, across the continent that have tuned in. Yeah, we're taking a look at a very important subject, one that's close to my heart as a journalist, but I guess also as a public, this is something that's important to you because we're going to be looking at the state of media and the state of transformation in the media in South Africa. And we're asking some pretty important questions. For example, what is the role of the media in a society, in a democracy that's growing? What role should the media be playing? Are we playing that role? What is the state of affairs at the moment? There seems to be questions around the relationship between what we term the fourth estate and government and the private sector. And we want to interrogate that relationship. We want to interrogate the state of reporting in this country. Are we doing a good job? Are we doing a poor job? What could we be doing better? And what is it that we're doing well as it is? And this, of course, is in the context of a world that we live in. And there are also other things that have come into play in the last few years, such as social media, that have started to influence the way news is digested. And so we've got a great panel of guests that are going to help us in this discussion. But you at home, we look forward to hearing from you as well. At Morning Live SABC, hashtag TNA BizBrief is where you can leave your messages and your questions, comments perhaps, because we'd like to know from you as a consumer of the news about a lot of the people that are sitting here. Are they doing a good job? Are they being fair? Are they not being fair? What would you like to see more of? And perhaps we've also got various stakeholders here who represent their various organizations, politicians, business people, media owners, and we'll get their thoughts as well. But let me introduce our guests, and we'll start the conversation straight away. So, my far right. On the far right, we have Stephen Motale, who's the editor of The Citizen, a Gauteng-based newspaper, but it is national. And the reason we got Stephen to join us is that he wrote an article not so long ago where he apologized to the president, and in that apology, he raised some issues and questions about the role the media had been playing. So we'll interrogate that with him, and perhaps it may point to a bigger question about the media in South Africa. Next to him is Stephen Grootes, who's a senior political correspondent with Talk Radio 702 and Eyewitness News. And many of you, particularly in Gauteng and in Cape Town, will hear his voice during the day. He does a program there, the Midday Report, and he writes as well. So his voice, his words may have been seen. He has some very strong thoughts about what Stephen wrote, and also we want to get his experience. He's been at the game for many, many years. Next to him, we have Ferial Haffajee, who's the editor at the City Press, and again, somebody who's been in the media for many, many years, 25 years almost now, isn't it, Ferial? So again, somebody who has seen things come and go, change, and has been unafraid to speak her mind at times, and often criticized for that, but we'll get her thoughts on that. And next to that, Moegsien, who's the editor-in-chief at the New Age and ANN7, another man who also wrote an article recently, and the headline, if you might remember, you haven't seen it, is that the media is acting like the unelected opposition. We'll find out what he meant by that, and again, speaking broadly to what he feels is perhaps the state of the media, and we'll interrogate that. And we couldn't have a conversation like this without the public broadcaster. And representing the public broadcaster, we've got Mr. Hlaudi, the CEO of the SABC. He too has very strong views about the role that media should be playing, journalists should be playing, and we'll also like to get his view about the role that the public broadcaster plays in this space that we're interrogating. So to all of you, a very warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to get a comment from you very shortly. But first, today we're also joined by somebody that you'll also see every morning on Morning Live. She normally does our sport, often reads the news as well, Valen Kirtley. And Valen, a very good morning to you. You're here. What are you going to be doing?
Thank you very much, Peter. I'm very excited to be here and also to hear what comes from that panel discussion that you have up there. So many thought-provoking things that have been written of later from a number of those people that are sitting on that stage. So I look forward to hearing the debate from there. But you mentioned that in the room, there is the who's who of the media industry. I'm just going to go through who's on the guest list. The Press Ombudsman, Joe Tlole. We also have the Minister of Small Business, Lindiwe Zulu. Former publisher and editor, Tami Mazwai. The SAPS Police Commissioner, Ria Pierre. And these are just a couple of the people that are actually sitting here in the hall. So you asked me what I'm doing this morning. I'm hopefully going to be getting some comments from our guests that are part of the live audience this morning. Certainly with all of their background, we also want to hear how they feel the role of the media is currently being enjoyed or not enjoyed. Is there bias? Is there not bias? So we're going to be hearing exactly what their thoughts also are. So I look forward to this conversation.
All right, Valen, we'll be crossing to her throughout the course of this discussion, but more importantly, we want you to be part of that, because we can sit here in our ivory towers, whatever you want to call them, making pronouncements and thinking that we know what you want. We'd like to know from you directly. So at Morning Live SABC, hashtag TNA BizBrief, send us your thoughts about the state of media in South Africa, and also the state of media transformation. Have we transformed enough? Is the media space looking the way it should look like 21 years into democracy? All of that coming up after this break. Stay with us.